Hi Libra, welcome to your week ahead tarot scope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Libra, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they speak to you. With that said, if you are a continued subby, you know I love you for it. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you have the Sun card. Finally some good news, right? This is shining a light on you, Libra, and it's also giving you, remember, yes, the Sun card is ultimate blessings, it's abundance, joy, happiness, ease, but sometimes it literally is the universe's way of saying this week will be easy, all right? So the fact that this is your key to the week, it kind of suggests that things are going to be smooth, all right? So let that be some good news for you. So for your foundation, you have the Star card. The Star card coupled with the Sun card literally represents astrology. So if you are thinking about studying astrology, if you are planning to study astrology, if you're already studying astrology, this week it's going to feature for you very heavily. This would also be a really good week for you to find connections online or in the digital sphere in some way, shape or form. Work on or towards that this week because it will be really, really helpful. So for your actions and options this week, you have the Seven of Swords. All right, so not an easy card. One of the things that comes up with this card, it's not always lies and deceit. Sometimes it represents things happening in an unconventional way. The fact that you have this as your actions and options card, this week I kind of get the feeling that you're going to want to do something that you find fun, that you find easy, that you find enjoyable, and you might get some odd looks. Like as an example, let's say you like doing, you know, complicated math problems, and that for you is fun and it helps you switch off your mind. Or maybe you really like Sudoku or work crosswords, or do you know what I mean? Like this, it suggests that this week you're doing something really unconventional that you find very fun, that most people would be like, okay, that is not fun, that sounds more like work. But so what, right? Let that be okay. Let whatever it is that you find relaxing and enjoyable that other people don't, let that be fine. The other way that this could show up for you as well, this week you might try to, or you might be tempted to tell a white lie to protect someone. I'm not entirely sure. Lying is never the best way forward, and if you're really unfortunate like me, you'll be really bad at it. One, because your face always gives you away, and two, because you always get found out. I literally have the worst luck for things like that, and Libra, I kind of feel like you might have it as well. Now, because you've got the Sun card here, it kind of suggests that if there is something that you've told a white lie on, it may be discovered, but it might be seen as actually that's quite endearing. You know, you haven't told me, I don't know, that I've got bloody toilet roll stuck to my shoe. You know, and I didn't tell you because you were already having a really bad day and and you know, I stepped on it when you were walking away anyway, so you know, not many people saw. It could be something like that. It could be something really trivial. It could also be something where, you know, maybe somebody has said something about a friend or about a loved one and you haven't told them, and it gets back to them and you say, well, look, you know, I didn't tell you because I didn't think you needed to know, and it wasn't a nice thing to hear anyway. And in that regard, I think it will be okay. All right, for your communications and conversations, you've got the Temperance card. Temperance card coupled with the Sun is spiritual healing. And on a really deep, profound level this week, through your conversations, through talking to people, through connecting with possibly healthcare, medical, or you know, energy medicine, other practitioners in some way, shape or form, you could have like a big reveal in some way, shape or form. You could get to the bottom of something through having a really powerful or profound conversation. I absolutely love this because whatever conversation you're having this week, it does suggest that some sort of really innate spiritual healing is taking place for you, which is wonderful. Now, for those of you that work for somebody else, This week you might be called upon in a fashion that you haven't been before. Maybe this is that you're given more responsibility, maybe you're put in charge of a team, maybe you are chosen to head a department. Like whatever it is, it's going to see you really stretching the skills that you have, but you're going to absolutely ace it. This is a really good opportunity. Something that comes to mind, I don't know if you've ever seen, there's a film called Anchorman. It's completely ridiculous, and if if you're a bit of a marshmallow, it can be quite offensive, but there's a scene in that where it's based on the news outlets, many years ago, when things were extremely impolitically correct, so basically this woman she's the first woman that's ever gone live as an anchor, and she gets given the opportunity, and they do everything to try and mess her up, but she absolutely nails it and ends up becoming a regular feature. This could be like that. Like you could be thrust into something this week where you're like, oh my god, I don't even know if I've got the smarts, the energy, the guts, the nerves, the gumption to do this, but you absolutely have, and you're going to ace at it. All right, so just be aware of that, but be aware that you might get some resistance as well. For those of you that work for yourselves, business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, is the Sun card coupled with the Temperance card. Show people who you are. Let people know who you are. Scream from the rooftops, but more importantly, let your clients speak about what you've done for them. Get testimonials and start putting those testimonials out there. This will be a really good week for stuff like this. When it comes to those of you that are retired or no longer working for any reason, your Temperance card is asking you to think about what you are actually doing with all of your magnetic energies, right? So with your thoughts, with your emotions, get really honest with yourself about what your results that you have at the moment, the life that you have at the moment, is a picture of the decisions that you've made. What are you ready to do different? For your money and materials, you've got the King of Swords. So this is very focused on the profession. This is very much focused for a lot of you. It looks like you're wanting more money, but it's like you're not so much that you're not prepared to do the work for it, but you've got that Seven of Swords there. It looks like you're telling yourself, well, that's likely not to happen. And so you're manifesting more of it. Like, pay attention to your words, pay attention to your thoughts, because they're drawing more of that stuff to you. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is going to be all about your noggin, your head, your thoughts, where your thoughts are at. Don't put too much pressure on yourself in the mental realm this week, and if you find that you are doing that, do something to take you out of it. Do something spontaneous. Hell, do something drastic if you need to. Obviously within reason. Be safe, of course, for crying out loud. When it comes to your home and environment, the King of Swords is asking you to get very real about what you need versus what is just kind of taking up space for the sake of having it. A good example, if you've got like a coffee maker that you use once a year, is there any point in really having it? Do you know what I mean? Like, this could be a really good week for a declutter or a defrag in some way. For your love and relations, you've got the Nine of Swords. So when it comes to partnerships, connections, relationships, for those of you that are in them, the Nine of Swords is basically saying don't hype something up. Like, if your partner says something that offends you, or you say something to your partner that they get really upset about, don't feed into it, right? Especially with the Temperance card there. Sometimes this can be where we're kind of drawn into stuff that kind of, it's not so much that, that doesn't really have anything to do with us, or is going in a direction that we don't want to. For another thing as well, in terms of familial ties and connections, or relatives or relations, people that you're related to, this can suggest that this week, if there's somebody that you know that is an addict or has been or is on the wagon, this week there might be a threat of them relapsing. If you can be available for this person, absolutely do. Your cool hand on the shoulder, willing ear to listen could be the thing that differentiates between them going back down that path and them saying, I'm just having a bad day, but I'm stronger than that bad day. And then finally, for those of you that are single, Honestly, it looks like you've got more to contend with. There are opportunities to flirt, but don't put too much on it. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill. You know, if someone smiles at you, it's not a proposal. You know, like, and as well, like, if somebody, you know, like, pays you some attention, maybe, you know, just don't read too much into it. Be present. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.